What's up everybody, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about the top 10 best basketball shoes that are currently available. I have a separate video on the best shoes that released in 2025, so if you're interested in recent releases, make sure to check that out. Before we get into the top 10, here's a quick look at some honorable mentions. They're also really good, but just not better than the 10 shoes on the list. The New Balance 2-Way Volume 5, the Adidas AE1 and Dawn Issue 7, and the Curry 12. Also, another little note before we get into the list, I didn't put Kobe shoes on here because they're in general relatively hard to get, but of course the Kobe 4, 5, 6, 8 and 9 are some of the best basketball shoes out there, and if you can get a pair, you can do nothing wrong. I just wouldn't pay resale for them. Now, with all that out of the way, number 10 on my list is going to be the Nike Sabrina 2. I know the Sabrina 3 has released in the States already, but unfortunately they haven't released in Europe yet, but I'm gonna get a pair for sure to test them out. They might also be on next year's list or even on the top 10 list at the end of the year. But for the Sabrina 2, you get very good traction performance, not durable, but a very good bite, a solid low to the ground cushioning setup. It could have more impact protection in my personal opinion or for my likings, but it's still very solid, nice wide base as well, a supportive shoe. But my issue with them is that they don't have a shank plate, so it's like really flexible. I don't like that a lot, especially if the shoe flexes here in the midfoot. The materials are nice, thin, soft, they don't need time to break in. The fit is wide foot friendly. Overall, a very good shoe for 100 euros or dollars, just not very durable, so keep that in mind. And if you need a stiffer setup, these are also not for you. Number 9 on my list is the Adidas Harden Volume 9. Beautiful looking shoe. Few things holding it back. One is the weight, in my opinion. They just feel a little bit heavy on foot and slightly clunky. What these excel in is support. Outstanding support features. So contrary to the Sabrinas, these are awesome in support. You've got an Adidas X plate, they call it, a heel corner, a very nice lacing system, and because the materials are so thick and sturdy, your foot is really locked in. The traction performance is also good, but there are issues with dust pickup. The cushioning setup is actually also very nice. It's a boost setup. You got good impact protection in the heel and you're relatively low to the ground in the forefoot. All that for 160 euros or dollars is a very decent price, and they're probably going to go on sale anyways, as the Harden 10 is right around the corner. If you're wondering where you can cop these shoes, you can find affiliate links to all my partner stores in the description box down below, or just an affiliate link to the respective website or brand where I got the shoe from. For number 8 on my list, I have the Anta Kai 1. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to try the Kai 2s. I heard great things about them. They also look really cool in my opinion. The Mother's Day colorway is amazing, but for the Kai 1, this is by far my favorite colorway of them, the jelly colorway. A few pros, very low retail price, 120 euros or dollars at Kicks. Traction performance is really good, but there's strong dust pickup. So if I give you a little close up here of the outsole, you can see that there's a lot of dust stuck on there. The cushioning setup is amazing. I really like it. It's very bouncy. It needs some time to be broken in, but it really feels like you get a little bit of more energy than what you give into the shoe. So that's really nice. Good impact protection, still not too high off the ground. Support features are also very good, and the fit is wide foot friendly after break-in. The materials are nothing special but solid, and overall for 120 euros or dollars, you really can't go wrong with the Kai 1. At number 7, we've got a way more expensive pair, as it's the Way of Wade 11. I know you might expect these a little bit higher on the list, but they're just not the best basketball shoe for my feet because they're very narrow in the midfoot area, which is exactly where my feet are wide. The toe box is very wide here in this shoe, so if you have a wide toe area, these might be awesome for you. They also excel in support features and cushioning. Cushioning is really insane. Full length boom, and it's got a carbon core system, which essentially means you've got a layer of boom, a carbon plate, and another layer of boom. It's not as bouncy as the Way of Wade 10, but it's got way better impact protection and just more comfort overall. I also like the futuristic design of the shoe. They're a little stiff at first. They definitely also need some breaking time, and the outsole also takes some getting used to. It's full length GCU, which stands for ground control unit, and it looks to be not very durable, but it actually holds up quite well even on outdoor courts. Just the only area where there's some issues is here right in the front, but the outsole itself actually holds up pretty well. For number 6, we almost got the same retail price with the Nike GD Cut 3 for 200 euros or dollars. Also an amazing pair. I thought about putting the GD Cut 3 Turbo here, but I actually like the regular GD Cut 3 a little bit more because they're not as stiff, not as narrow, and the cushioning setup, which gives them a deserving spot in this list, is essentially the same as its Zoom X full length, which is probably my favorite cushioning setup from Nike right now. It's so responsive and bouncy, and you still have good impact protection, and you're still low to ground in the forefoot. So overall, this shoe reminds me a lot of a pair of Kobe 6s. The only thing that they don't do as well is the support. As you can see, they also kind of flex in the midfoot because we only have a little plastic shank here. So that's what's holding them back, and didn't give them a spot in the top 5, but apart from that, they're actually a really good performer. I also wouldn't take them outdoors because durability just isn't as good. Now for the top 5, the first pair is going to be from Way of Weight again, as it's the All City 13. These are available in a lot of different colorways with different materials, with different outsole setups. So I recommend you watch my separate review on them if you want to get a pair. They've got excellent value for money. They start to retail at 160. Right now we're more around the range of 140 to 150, and you can also use my affiliate link or my code, which I said is in the description box down below, for a discount. What makes these great is that they're actually good in every category. They have no real weakness. It can be used indoors and outdoors, and that's actually already everything you can ask for that retail price. The outsole is a mix of GCU and traditional rubber. It works really well, and as I said, there's pairs that have a full translucent outsole, there's pairs that have a full solid rubber outsole, and then there's pairs that have like a mix here, GCU here in the heel that's not see-through, and then there's a see-through rubber in the forefoot. Cushioning is full length boom. As you can see, it's really comfortable, gives you good impact protection in the heel, still not too high in the ground in the forefoot, while still maintaining, as I said, a good amount of impact protection throughout the whole shoe. So even for bigger players, this shoe is a great option. Also for forwards, the materials also vary from pair to pair. There's pairs with leather, with synthetic leather. Here it's more like a mesh upper, very thin. These are more for summer. So that's also a thing I really like about Way of Weight, that they actually give you shoes if you're playing indoors, if you're playing outdoors, summer, winter. They make different colorways for different options, which is just a really cool thing if a brand actually listens to customer feedback and does things that are important to certain hoopers, either if you're an outdoor hooper or if you just hoop indoors. The All City 13 will work in any case. Support features are also good. You've got a Euro plate, of course inspired by Dwayne Wade's famous Euro step, and overall these are a very nice performer and deservingly have a spot on this list. At number 4, the only pair from 361 Degrees. These are amazing. The Joker 1 GT. This is the first pair that has finally been available in my size 14, which I'm really happy about, because I tried them in size 13, which was too small for me, so they always hurt my feet, but I felt that the performance on court was just simply amazing, so I naturally wanted to keep playing with them, but just couldn't do it. And they do feel significantly better than the regular Joker 1 in my personal opinion. They're also more expensive, but as I said, in my opinion, they're worth the upgrade as the performance is significantly better. You still got great support features with this prominent heel corner. We've got a shank plate you can see here through the translucent outsole, but what actually makes these better is the cushioning setup and the outsole setup. The outsole is extremely squeaky if you like that. Of course, it has nothing to do with traction performance, as for example, the Curry shoes don't squeak but have excellent grip. But here it actually also coincides with extremely good grip and a good bite on a clean and a dusty court. I'm not too sure about outsole durability. I have to say I haven't tried them outdoors, so I can't really say if the thin rubber will hold up. It's also relatively soft, so I'm just not sure. Maybe someone else can help you out if you're trying to, or if you're thinking about copying them for outdoor basketball. And the cushioning setup really is elite. It's extremely bouncy. You can feel it underneath your foot. It's got great comfort. Stepping comfort is off the charts. And overall, if you've got a little bit more weight to put in the shoe, you will really get a lot of energy back from it in combination with the carbon plate. Just overall a really nice setup. The materials are also nice. They might look like leather, but 361 Degrees actually doesn't use leather. It's all synthetic leather, but it really looks and feels very realistic or very close to real leather, which is great for me because I'm vegan, so I don't use real leather products, but I still don't mind the benefits of having a good synthetic leather feel or a good synthetic leather upper here. And as I said, overall just a very comfortable and bouncy shoe with great traction at a solid retail price of 200 in today's market. That can actually be considered a decent price for such a good performer. And now moving into the top 3, we have yet another pair from Way of Weight. They're really killing it. Is the 808 Ultra, and what makes these excel is the drop-in midsole. It's a super boom setup, and it really is the bounciest drop-in midsole I have ever tried. Really comfortable. Stepping comfort is amazing, off the charts. You got good impact protection, you get a lot of bounce out of the midsole, and you're still not too high off the ground, which is always very important for me, because if you have too much cushioning, you just feel unstable, and for me as a shooter, it just feels like I can't feel the floor as much. I'm unstable and my jump shot feels off if I have too much cushioning setup in the shoe. The outsole is also really good, great for outdoors, but I actually have to say I heard some reports that, or some messages from followers, that they used them outdoors and they didn't last that long. I don't know if that was just some factory flaws on certain pairs or if that was overall. My pairs have been holding up really well, so I have had no issues, but I saw some pictures online and, as I said, through messages, that there were some durability issues, so maybe keep an eye out for that. For indoors, you're good to go for sure. You can also see a midfoot shank plate for the outsole, some carbon fiber accents also in the heel as a heel corner, very supportive, and what makes these one of, or actually the best drop-in midsole shoe I have tried. tried is that they're actually also pretty lightweight compared to other drop-in midsole shoes. These are way lighter because the materials are so nice and thin, also breathable enough for outdoors, yet still supportive enough. So overall, this is an amazing shoe. They also retail for $160, which is great value for money considering some retail prices we went through before. And as I said, you can also save on them if you use my code. Now at number 2, we have my all-time favorite basketball shoe, but I still decided to put them at number 2 because I think number 1 will be the better shoe for most hoopers out there. But for me, this is my favorite basketball shoe. It's the Nike Book 1. If you've been subscribed to my channel, which I hope you are, if not, make sure to do that right now. You'll know how much I like the Book 1. I played all of last season in the Book 1s. We won a championship in them, so I really even have like a sentimental connection to them right now. And I stacked up on some newer colorways. One is this one, although I feel like this one takes more time to break in. So I also got the Black Label colorway. Those feel amazing, but my favorite is probably sunrise and sunset combination. Those just look so damn cool. And what I like so much about them is that the traction performance is phenomenal. Like all of last season, I can remember like 3 times where I actually slipped out while playing. And considering I played over 20 games in them and hundreds of practices, that is a really small amount. So the traction performance is insanely good on clean and dusty courts. You can actually also take them outdoors. However, I would recommend you take a solid rubber outsole outdoors. And what makes these elite for me is the cushioning setup. We've got a really thick air zoom unit in the heel and full length Cushlon 3.0. And that's just a very nice and comfortable combination. Very low to the ground in the forefoot and great impact protection in the heel. For me, someone who struggles with Achilles pain, that's the perfect combination in a shoe. The fit is also great for me, but I do recommend to go up half a size because they run short, but they are wide. The retail price, depending on colorways, $130 to $160 is also solid in my opinion. Materials, I prefer the ones with non-leather materials, of course, as I told you before. These are a little bit more stiff, but once they're broken in, I can show you a pair that I've hooped in a lot. Here we go. Once they're broken in, you can see that it will get way softer. That's also a big plus in my opinion, and the non-leather materials are also a little bit lighter and more breathable. Support features are also good, even though it might look a little high off the ground, it's actually not. Your foot is a little bit underneath this thick midsole right here, and they have a good heel corner and a plastic midfoot shank plate. As you can see, only flex in the toe area like it's supposed to be, and the midfoot is nice and stable. And now for the number 1 pair, that's in my opinion also the all-time best basketball shoe. I thought about putting the LeBron 20 here because they released one colorway, but since it's just one colorway and for this shoe they keep on releasing pairs, I decided to go with the Way of Wade 10. You probably guessed it already. This is a brand new colorway. They look absolutely stunning in my opinion. An all pink colorway. I thought the Cherry Blossom colorway is the best Way of Wade 10 colorway, but maybe these might actually be better. So damn cool, and the performance is just off the charts. You could see it here a little bit already. A full length carbon fiber midfoot shank plate, incredibly bouncy shoe. So if you're trying to get an extra inch out there to get your first dunk, these are a great option. Retail price also like I think at $180 right now. They used to be at $200. It's a little bit lower right now. And you have full length boom cushioning, tough OS rubber or tough RB rubber, how it's called right now. So they're also durable enough for outdoors. The materials are really thin. I can't show you that well here because these aren't even unboxed yet, so there's paper in there. But as you can see, it's like really thin. I'll take this pair right here. You even have some see-through areas, very thin, very soft, breathable as well, of course, if there's see-through areas, yet still supportive enough. So overall, this is just the perfect basketball shoe. Fit is also decent for wide footers, maybe go up half a size. Everybody else can go true to size, but yeah, as I said, this is probably the best basketball shoe of all time, so naturally also the best basketball shoe that's still available. And that's another thing I love about Way of Wade. They just keep releasing their best models, which is just amazing. How nice would it be if Nike would have kept on releasing Kobe's all throughout the years where they stopped doing it, just giving us what we actually want, giving us the best basketball shoes available. So that's a big props to Way of Wade for that. Really cool that they do that. And with that being said, that's my top 10 best basketball shoes available right now. I haven't tried a few prominent names like the Ja 3 or the Sabrina 3, as talked about that already. The All Pro Nitro 2 is also supposed to be good, but I have a pair on my way. So we'll have to see if that list changes towards the end of the year. There will for sure be a top 10 best basketball shoes of 2025 as well in December. I mentioned it before, if you're not subscribed to my channel, I would really appreciate it if you do that right now. Also leave a like on this video, comment your thoughts, and if you don't want to comment your thoughts, just leave a comment for the algorithm. I would really appreciate it. Have a good one and see you next time.